All right, Chris, have moved down the corridor here, and we're at Carriage Street, which is going to become no passageway here, just a dead end. But tell us what we're looking at. And this is, I would say, one of my favorite part of the projects this year of just what happened behind us.
Sure. So right now we're standing at Carriage looking north towards Williamsburg Way, and you can see the retaining walls that we have built. There's the one retaining wall that's holding up the businesses that's almost 30 feet tall at its highest point there. And there's also another retaining wall that's going to actually hold up the ramp for what is going to become the Williamsburg Way off ramp or on ramp to Verona Road. So there behind us, you can see that there was a lot of excavation. We cut out almost 25 feet of fill or material to move to other parts of the project, and we created quite a hole to be able to build those retaining walls. But that is going to eventually be the future elevation of where Verona Road is going. So we got quite a bit more material we got to take out of there.
Yeah, you kind of mentioned, or we mentioned at the beginning of this piece, that the reuse of materials really worked out here. This is where you can actually see that is being done.
Correct, yeah. So this material was going down to Highway PD to help us fill in a lot of those other areas south of Carriage and all the way down to PD, correct.
And again, we're standing here. When will where will that traffic move on? So we're looking
Sure.
here at that off ramp, but as far as that traffic switch.
So towards the end of November, we are going to have this all paved in, and the goal is to have southbound traffic kind of by that off-road truck behind us. There'll be concrete pavement, and there'll be that ramp will go up to Williamsburg Way, and that is where all the southbound traffic will be located.
And then we'll still stay with, again, that this whole middle piece here
Correct.
is going to be.
Yep, we'll still have a big wide median. Southbound will be as far to the west as possible, and northbound is going to be where they are today. And we're going to have a huge median for us to be able to build the bridge at Williamsburg Way and at PD, and all the pavements and all the fill and everything else that needs to go on in that work zone.
Talk about this worked out really well that you can keep traffic still moving, without too many changeover pieces
Sure.
here. It kind of worked itself out really well to make this project move smooth.
Yeah, one of the concepts that we used in the design process was we didn't want to make it any worse than it was before we started construction. So we pressed pretty hard on trying to be able to maintain 2 lanes in each direction during the rush hours and during most of the hours of the day. We tried to move traffic and make our work zones outside of where they were, so we weren't taking lane closures all the time, trying to build a project and maintain traffic. So that was one of the ways that we mitigated that, was move the traffic in areas that we don't need to do the construction and build the project in stages like we have been.
Finally, the bridge here over Williamsburg Way, if you could describe that. We're going to go on the other side and look
Sure.
back at it, but from this angle looking up, I mean,
Sure.
there's going to be a bridge.
So behind us, you can kind of see the deck of, if you have some imagination, you can see that the deck of the bridge for Williamsburg Way is going to be pretty close to what the concrete is today. We're going to connect one side of Williamsburg Way to the other side of Williamsburg Way, and instead of you be driving on the concrete pavement, you'll be driving on a bridge deck. That work is going to start next spring, and it's going to have some traffic impacts because we are going to have to shut off the middle zone there to be able to build that bridge. So there's going to be a big 25-foot hole from one side of the Williamsburg Way to the other. By doing that, it's going to create having Williamsburg Way be a right-in, right-out intersection with Verona Road, and that was about the best we could do. We're trying to tighten up the time frames as much as possible, and we're estimating that's going to take about 3 months that we're going to be in that configuration next spring.
Chris, we're standing now by Williamsburg Way. This is the what you had mentioned, kind of the site of the action, if you will.
Correct.
Going on here. We've got the bridge work that's going to be happening here. This is where the removal of a lot of material is going. Plus, again, that traffic shift onto this lane. So break this down for us. First
Sure.
off with what we're standing on
Yep,
here.
we're standing on the Williamsburg Way southbound ramp to get onto Verona Road. So you can see behind me that we're dropping an elevation to meet up with the elevation of the future Verona Road. So this will be that ramp. This is where a lot of that excavation was happening that we mentioned earlier, and you can see the retaining walls behind us that we're using to hold up the material for both the ramp and as well as the businesses that are being held on the top side of the retaining wall there. Yep.
Absolutely. And how far down, as far as underneath what will be the Williamsburg Bridge here, are we talking that these guys have to dig down to?
Yep. So we excavated down 25 feet to get down to where we needed to build these walls back up. So we were down 25 feet. We built the walls and we built back up the retaining or the ramp here. Eventually, Verona Road. When we get to that excavation, it's 25 feet of dirt that we're going to be digging in this location, so we can get to that bridge foundations to be able to build the bridge.
Once we do switch the traffic over to the southbound lane, what are we looking as far as Williamsburg Way here?
Sure. So next spring, when we do build the bridge for Williamsburg Way to connect both sides of Williamsburg Way, like I mentioned before, is that there's going to be traffic impacts. That Williamsburg Way is going to become a right-in, right-out intersection with Verona Road. You will not be able to go from one side of Williamsburg Way over to the other side of Williamsburg Way because there's going to be a 25-foot hole there where we're going to be building a bridge.
Sure.
So, and that is scheduled for next spring for roughly 3 months. That traffic configuration is going to be there. You still can get to Williamsburg Way, but remember, again, it'll only be a right-in, right-out intersection with Verona Road.
Absolutely. And then finally, as we're between now Williamsburg Way and Raymond Road, what's some of the activities that are happening that direction?
Sure. So there's a lot of concrete pavement going on there. We just had our switch at Williamsburg Way, so we're going to get into the digging out the other half of Williamsburg Way and building the retaining wall and the bridge abutments that we built in the other half. So that's the work that's going on right now. There's quite a bit of concrete work that's actually going to be going on, and we can get to that and see that in a little bit. So.